Hello, everyone. I want to welcome you to yet another one of our Lenten organ series. My name is Pastor Kyle Tremblay. I'm the pastor of community development here at First United Methodist Church, and I want to thank y'all for being here and supporting the amazing work of AGO, as well as our sort of recipients of any offerings today with Rainbow Room. It's truly a great way for us to both support wonderful musicians such as Katya, as well as supporting our community. So thank y'all for being here, and I'm going to hand it over to Chris to give the specifics, the part y'all really want to hear. So,
thank you, Kyle. Well, welcome again to another midday recital. We are honored today to have Katya McMahan play for us. We certainly appreciate the opportunity to share this organ and this space. We are most grateful to First Methodist for making it available to us. This series continues through Holy Week, and we hope you'll be able to join us for the two remaining recitals that come in the weeks that follow. We appreciate very much the work of the Rainbow Room and hope that you will be generous in your donations to them. For those that don't know, Rainbow Room is that thank you very much moment that's available to those families that suddenly find a child displaced and in need of some certain supplies, clothing, and otherwise. So we appreciate our opportunity through these recitals to support their work. And certainly we appreciate you knowing a little bit more about the American Guild of Organists. There is a sign-in book. One of our members wisely reminded me the other day that it would really be nice to know who comes to these recitals and to stay in touch with you as we do other activities during the year. So if you have the opportunity and have not done so, please sign the register, and we promise we will not send you ads asking for things. We'll simply keep you in touch with the activities that we have planned for the balance of the year. So thank you so much for being here, and you don't want to listen to me, you want to listen to Katya, so it's time for that.
Good afternoon, everybody. I wanted to do something differently today. So I believe that the audience better understands music when they're provided with some kind of background information. So I've prepared some program notes for you. The first piece that you're about to hear is a concerto in A minor, written by Antonio Vivaldi, but later on transcribed for organ by Johann Sebastian Bach. So when Antonio Vivaldi published his landmark concerto collection, L'Esto Armonico, Opus 3, in Amsterdam in 1711, Bach eagerly obtained a copy. Between 1713 and 1714, Bach transcribed several of these concertos for organ, including this A minor concerto, adapted from Vivaldi's double violin concerto. Bach distributed the two solo violin parts across the organ's manuals, added some fresh harmonies, and his own ornaments. The grand tutti passages ring out on the great manual, while the solo episodes retreat to the softer choir manual. The three movements follow the fast, slow, fast pattern of the Baroque concerto, a driving allegro, a songful adagio, and a brilliant closing allegro. The encounter with Vivaldi's style proved transformative, deepening Bach's command of large-scale musical architecture and shaping his compositional voice for decades to come. 1697, which, by the way, is 800-year-old cathedral in France. Yet Nicolas died at only 31, leaving behind a single published volume, the Livre d'Orgue, which is the organ book, written in 1699. This collection represents the pinnacle of French Baroque organ writing, so highly that J.S. Bach copied the entire book out by hand for his own study. This is when his vision started to get worse due to lifelong eye strain from copying musical manuscripts in poor light, sometimes even the moonlight. This Recital in Italia comes from the Gloria of Grigny's Mass for organ. A tierce in Italia is distinctively French texture, a singing melody carried in the tenor register on the bright tierce stop combination, while the hands play independent counterpoint above and below. And just to show you a little bit, this tierce organ stop. This is it. I'm playing the note C, low C, and this is what the tierce, 2 octaves above, sounds. And if I add the main tone to it, this is how it sounds. So, third 2 octaves above. This effect is one of tender, inward devotion, mystical rather than ceremonial, and utterly unlike anything found in German or Italian organ music of the era. The piece unfolds in 3 broad sections, and a single boldly dissonant bar near the end lends the work an intense dramatic charge. Hans Andreas Stamm is one of Germany's most distinctive organ voices. A child prodigy from Leverkusen who began touring as an organ virtuoso at age 11 and gave a solo recital at Notre Dame de Paris in Paris at 16. Equally celebrated as a performer and composer, he is renowned for his Bach interpretations, as well as for a unique body of organ work that blends classical forms from modal harmonies, fiddle figurations, and ornamentations of Irish and Celtic folk music. This hymn is the slow, lyrical heart of his suite number 3 for organ. It's set in a remote, introspective key of G sharp minor. It presents a broad, singing melody in the style of an Irish ballad, which returns 3 times, first in the soprano, then carried by the tenor voice, and finally building to an expressive climax before setting into a quiet close. The piece exemplifies Stamm's signature aim, music of genuine feeling that reaches across the concert hall and touches the hearts of listeners. Rachmaninoff composed his all-night vigil in fewer than 2 weeks, in January and February of 1915, drawing an ancient chants of Russian Orthodox Church. The work, 15 movements for unaccompanied choir, has been praised as both Rachmaninoff's finest achievement and the crowning glory of Russian sacred music. It was one of the composer's 2 favorite works, and he asked that the 5th movement, Lord, Now Lettest Thou, be sung at his funeral. The 2nd movement that you're about to hear sets Psalm 104, Bless the Lord, O my soul, as one of only 2 movements with a prominent solo role. An alto soloist sings the ancient Greek-style chant melody in long arching phrases, while the lower voices intone the word bless as a hum, and the upper voices float above like a choir of angels. The movement closes with a slow, luminous descent of the basses, a moment of vast, serene scale that only Russian choral tradition can quite produce. a conclusion of today's concert, you will hear Toccata on Deo Gratias. Richard Keys Biggs spent much of his career as organist choir master at the Cathedral of a Blessed Sacrament in Hollywood, California, where he composed his toccata for the cathedral's 1927 Casavant organ. A prominent teacher, Biggs was a central figure in American Catholic Church music of the mid-20th century. The toccata is built on two Gregorian chant melodies from the Missa Orbis Factor, the Kyrie and the Ite Missa Est, the dismissal chant whose words give the piece its title, Deo Gratias, Thanks Be to God. The chant melody appears first singing in the soprano, then thundering in the pedals, propelled throughout by cascading 16-note figurations that give the work its irresistible, jubilant energy. It remains one of the most beloved and frequently played American organ toccatas. Thank you all for coming.